this thing shuts off one more time, I'm gonna have a breakdown. Anyway, okay, let's try this again. Hello, how's it? I'm working on all kinds of intros and none of them are really working for me. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I already recorded an intro like this. I was almost 10 minutes into the video when something happened and my camera stopped recording, and I just for curiosity's sake, I just played back the 10 minutes of the video and I realized that I looked absolutely awful, so I had to go and just clean up my face, and now I'm redoing it. So if I seem irritable, that's why. No, I won't be irritable. I'm not irritable. I'm fine. It's fine. So, what did I say in the first video? Oh, I said I have purple hair now. Yes, you can't really see it, but you can see that it's kind of purple. The bad caramel blonde is gone. We're thankful for that. And I'm kind of obsessed with the purple hair. And when I'm big one day, I'll probably have green hair. So that's something for you to look forward to. I know I am. So today, you can probably tell by the title that we will be discussing the critically acclaimed and 2019's most successful foreign film, Parasite. Now listen to me. Listen. My thoughts and opinions that I give in this video are very much my own thoughts and opinions. They are not based off any special criteria, parameter. They are genuinely just my original, well, from my, like, I thought of them myself and they come from me, so they're not based off anything that's out there already. If you are looking for something from a professional, I'll be the first to say please look elsewhere. These are just my personal thoughts and opinions on the movie. Criteria, parameters, did I use that right? These are all just my personal thoughts. So let's get into it. I'm not going to give you a synopsis of the movie because I would personally like you to go and watch it yourself, because that's something you need to experience. It's an experience you need to experience on your own. So if you haven't watched it, please go watch it yourself. I will be acting as if you have watched the film, and I don't actually want to spoil anything for you, but spoilers. B, how in the deep blue sea and the rich brown soil do you explain this movie? How do you coherently make this make sense? Like, it's just, it's so good. It's so good. I will, like I said, I will be acting as if you've seen the movie, so major spoilers ahead. If you haven't seen the movie, I'll give you a chance to now. Imagine I just had like a 2-hour or so pause just so that you guys can go watch the movie. No, pause this, go watch the movie, come back, and let's freak out together. I actually sent videos of myself reacting to the movie to my friend because she was like she was so hyped up about this movie the whole of last year. And now when I finally got to see it, I sent her some videos of me reacting to it, and pause. Oh, wait a minute. What the fuck did I just watch? Bro, I was shook. It was a lot to take in all at once. Like, the movie starts off slow-ish and then things start happening and you're like, oh damn, and then you're like, oh damn, and then you're like, oh, what? And then in the end you're just like, I need a sequel, or at least another story that explains the origin story of other people, like the original housekeeper and her husband. I just want to know. Okay, let's go. Let's just get into the analysis. So what I want to talk about first is the class conflict, or like classes. This is probably one of the most obvious or more noticeable themes running through this movie. The contrast between the Park family, the rich family, and the Kim family, the poorer family, or the original housekeeper and her husband, is so stark and so almost jarring and so significant to the viewer that it almost seems over exaggerated, when in fact it do be like that. The differences between classes are not only in Korea but in almost all over the world are that stark and are that significant. Like, for example, in this movie, the night of the torrential rain, the Kim's semi-basement apartment is flooded. They have to sleep in a gym for the night. All their belongings are destroyed. They have to haggle and argue and fight over clothes. Whereas the Park family just wake up and they decide, oh, let's just throw an impromptu party for our son and invite everyone. Don't bring gifts. Let's just get drunk in the daytime. She claims that the rain was a blessing. It's such a beautiful morning, not realizing that people have gone through it while she was sleeping comfortably on her couch. Anyway, as a result of this contrast between these two, okay, I know there are more than two classes, maybe in Korea, but in South Africa there are more than two classes. But for now we're just going to deal with the two classes we do know, the upper richer class, which is the Park family, and the lower poorer class, which is the Kim family, as well as the original housekeeper and her husband. But because of this severe or significant contrast between the two classes, there is obviously a major gap in understanding between the classes, which means that there's a lot of judgment passed between the two. The Parks seem to be nice, normal, polite people, but they were blatantly judgmental of the Kim family. Not to their face, but we as the audience heard them. So they were blatantly judgmental of how the Kims smelled or smelt. And Mr. Parks constantly talks about them crossing this line. Like, there's a line where, like, I think what he was alluding to was this line where, because of their position or their status within that household, there is a line between the family, the Parks family, and the people who work for them, which is understandable. There needs to be a professional line, but the way he said it was a little more, like I said, judgmental. Now, all of us are guilty of unfairly judging or ridiculing people. I mean, we're just human. That shouldn't be an excuse though. I'm just saying that we can't help it. Sometimes we can be very judgmental without even meaning to be. It's okay as long as we're aware of it. But I got really heated when Mrs. Park plugged her nose and had to crack a window because of Mr. Kim's odor in the car, not even thinking or caring what he went through before he came to work. Which, by the way, this odor that Mr. Kim has, she only reacted to when her husband brought it up. Mr. Park turned up his nose even while trying to get his keys out from under a dying man, not to mention them not caring that two other people lay there dying. One of them being Ki-jung, by the way, so seriously fuck them for that one. So I was seriously annoyed, you know, with how they just blatantly disregard people who they don't deem to be on their level, and how judgmental they are of these people. But then I was like, wait, doesn't it go both ways though? I mean, as judgmental as these rich people are or were of these poorer people, the poorer people were just as judgmental of the rich people, and even of the people who are in the exact same predicament or circumstances as they were. If not, they treated those people worse, like i.e. the original housekeeper and her husband, how Chung-suk was so rude to her. She was like, oh, I'm calling the police, don't call me sis or whatever, you know. And the question I just want to throw out there, I'm not trying to offend anyone, please believe me, I'm not trying to offend anyone. Remember, we're discussing together. But does being in dire or difficult circumstances give one the right or the moral high ground to be more judgmental of others, or does it automatically make you more judgmental of other people? Or I don't know, because even in the movie there's a line where Chung Suk herself says that if she were rich she'd be a nicer person, and then she pushes the dog. But that's just something to think about, because that's what I was also thinking. I was like, I'm so mad at these rich people when the poor people are saying that Mrs. Park is simple and she's a crazy bitch. Does you being richer or being in a better position financially or whatever make it okay for people to judge you or ridicule you for things, for your emotional state or for your mental state? You know what I'm saying? Does you having a better life mean that people can judge your circumstances? That's just what I want. That's what the question I posed to myself and I couldn't really answer, but also want to pose to you guys, so let me know what you think. What I also want to talk about is the effect of capitalism. We love it. The first thought that came to mind when I think capitalism in this film is the question, who is really taking advantage of who here? Because the Parks are rich, they'll get more money. Is the Kim family really taking advantage of them by using them? But on the other hand, the Parks act like bitches, but at least they're nice people, so should they not be taken advantage of? You know, does that make them not accountable for how they got their money? They don't even really exploit the people who work for them, really. But also, a friend of mine, she brought to my attention, how much were they really paying the original housekeeper that she had to take out loans with loan sharks, and she got that deep into debt that her husband had to go live underground for 4 years. What? 4 years, 3 months, and 17 days. Bro, when he said that, I was like, are you insane? Actually, you know what? That sounds familiar. Did we not do that at the beginning of this year? That's just something I thought of that and I wanted to bring up. Also, I want to talk about colonialism, because when I was researching the movie, the director and the creators said some things about how or in what kind of setting the movie was placed. An author named Ju-Hyun, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Ju-Hyun Park, or this person wrote a piece about Parasite called Reading Colonialism in Parasite. Something this person said in this piece was, the film plays out within the capitalist economic order inaugurated and upheld in Korea by colonial occupation. Boonsterak Engels. But what I got from that is the movie is based in and emphasizes the system that was a result of colonization, which I picked up on. The way the English language is considered superior or a sign of prestige. The better your English, the better your chances to get anywhere in life, which is bullshit, by the way. Or like English is a measurement of intelligence. Again, bullshit, because people are fluent in English and they never really say anything of value. Also, I noticed how the United States specifically is considered superior or held superior by the Park family or in this community in Korea, which is the same also in South Africa. America's held to a very high standard, or was, until anyway. Mrs. Park brags about how she had Dasong's toys imported from the US, meaning they're of good or better quality as they would be from anywhere else, meaning that she has a lot of faith and a lot of trust in American brands or American manufacturers, more so than anywhere else, I'm guessing. And also, as soon as Ki-woo says that Ki-jung, Jessica, studied in Chicago, Mrs. Park's interest was immediately piqued. Just to clarify, just because something or someone speaks English, speaks fluent English, or is from America, or is American, or has studied in America, does not make them god tier. Does not make them a god tier person. Okay, just so we can clarify that. I could go on and on and on and on and on about this movie, but I think I'm gonna end this kind of abruptly because there's so many more things I want to talk about, but I know that it would make this video much longer than it probably already is. And also I don't even know if I did these themes any justice, but these are just the 3 that I wanted to bring up and I wanted to dissect. If I were to bring up more one day, I'll probably go into further depth about other things that I picked up in the film, so let me know if you want that. I don't even know if this was coherent, or yeah, I might just revisit this someday, so just let me know what you think, if you would like more, because I do have a lot more thoughts on this movie. If you liked this video and you would like to see more like it, like this video and subscribe and comment, any kind of comment, because all feedback is good feedback. And I'll see you when I see you.